Welcome to historic Raiders Stadium here in Junction City for the 2024 Mid-Plains League Connor Taylor All-Star Game. I'm Joe Compton, your announcer for the evening. So normally we would start by announcing the starting lineups, but because it's the All-Star Game, it would only make sense to announce the All-Stars for each team, starting with Bowen City. Their All-Stars are Brennan Johnson, Quinn Grobel, Logan Groh, Austin Arocha, Tyler Tamez, Cade Adams, and Ty Clark. For the Junction City Brigade, Zach Becker, Mark Hoffman, Eric Nuno, Ian Luce, Sammy Padilla, George Andrews, and Keegan McDonald. For the Midwest A's, AJ Alvarez, Elias Mueller, Aiden Morgan, Jack Harris, Easton Wassinger, and Jax Marn. And for the Topeka Warhawks, Jared White, Dylan Quezada, Joel Peguero, Alex Aleman, Stephen Permine, Christian Fernandez, and Luis de la Cruz. And in just a few short moments, we will announce the starting lineups after a short break. All right, we're done with that break, and we will get ready to start the
Mid-Plains League All-Star Game.
Mid-Plains League All-Star Game starting lineups. First for the visiting KC MSBL All-Stars. Batting first, the center fielder Jamon Beck. Second, the second baseman Alex Lahaski. Third, the shortstop Samuel Dew. Fourth, the catcher Fernando Esquivel. Fifth, the third baseman Danny Holmes. Sixth, the left fielder Charlie Badowski. Seventh, the first baseman Cam Messerschmidt. Eighth, the pitcher Jake Slocum. And ninth, the right fielder Travis Weidenbanner. For the Mid-Plains League All-Stars, batting first from Junction City Brigade, the center fielder Ian Luce. Second, from the Baldwin City Blues, the left fielder Brendan Johnson. Third, from the Midwest A's, the first baseman Easton Wassinger. Fourth, from the Topeka Warhawks, the third baseman Joel Piguero. Fifth, from Junction City, the designated hitter George Andrews. Sixth, from the Midwest A's, the shortstop A.J. Alvarez. Seventh, from Baldwin City, the right fielder Tyler Tamez. Eighth, from Junction City, the catcher Zach Becker. And ninth, from Topeka, the second baseman Stephen Fermin. Starting for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars is from the Topeka Warhawks, Christian Fernandez. And with that, I'd say we are about ready to go, although I'm not sure because it is 6:51 right now when we are scheduled. First pitch was actually, I believe, at 7:10, so we might have about 20 minutes to fill. We'll see. I don't have enough material for that, and even if I did, I'm not sure you guys would want to hear it. But should be close to going. So just a couple of housekeeping things. Obviously, if you heard it, normally when we're on a break in between innings, we will cut the microphone. That way, it doesn't pick up any of the royalty music. That way, the stream stays up. We don't get in trouble, and you guys can keep watching it. So we'll mute the microphone for that. I'll make a little text thing that says that we're on a break, like Ross and Rachel. But in the meantime, yeah. So that's really the only housekeeping thing I have. If I mispronounce any names or anything like that, just throw it in the chat. Or if you have any fun comments, obviously keep it appropriate and everything. But throw those in the chat as well. Because it's just me tonight. I might have a couple special guests. We'll see, but gets a little lonely when it's just me. So, we'll see. But this is an exciting event. The Mid-Plains League All-Star. The Mid-Plains League All-Star Game is always a very, very fun event. This year it's a little different. In the 3 years past, it's been, and maybe even before that, it's been an East versus West game. This year, it is the Mid-Plains League All-Stars as one unified team against the KC MSBL All-Stars, which really, if it's really mostly the Kansas City Monarchs. The Kansas City Monarchs, I believe, have 9 of the 10 players in the eight or 9 of the 10 players in the roster are from the Kansas City Monarchs, but we will refer to them as the KC MSBL All-Stars for this game. However, if you are following it on Game Changer, I will throw the link to Game Changer. I'll figure out how to get the link to Game Changer in the YouTube chat if you all want to watch that game, or if you all want to follow it there just for the stats. But, of course, we would love to have you here. Because, obviously, watching the game is more fun than following it on a stat website. I think everybody would agree on that. I hope everybody would agree on that. But we are set to get underway. I think we will take that first break right now. All right, we're back. We're done from our break, and I do have a special guest.
Hey.
On color tonight, it is Grady Johnson, PA announcer in Baldwin City and brother of All-Star left fielder Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Hi, Grandma.
In the 6th spot, we have AJ Alvarez.
So, yes, I have a guest on broadcast that's not Brett, so we'll see how this goes. It should be pretty fun, but Brett, I know you're not watching. Grady's a little more,
batting 8th tonight, we have
what's the word? Clever.
Zach Becker.
I don't know what you're trying to say here, Joe.
Well, when I'm up to my tricks. To my tricks, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little more.
Yeah.
It's going to be Christian Fernandez.
So, yep, going through the lineups once again in fielding order for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. Pitching is Fernandez, catching Becker. First through third is Wassinger, Fermin, and Piguero. Shortstop is AJ Alvarez, and the outfield left to right is Brennan Johnson, Ian Luce, and Tyler Tamez.
Then we also have another number 27, Alex Wahaski.
So as it stands right now, I think it's actually pretty even. Besides the pitcher for who's
in the 3rd spot.
Who's on the field right now. It looks like 2 from each team.
Yeah, you've got 2 from the A's, 2 from Baldwin, 2 from Junction City, and then you've got 2 fielders from Topeka plus Fernandez on the mound.
Yep, and obviously because it's an all-star game, we will probably rotate, at least for the Mid-Plains League side, rotate through the pitchers pretty quickly, because obviously we don't want to. Well, the playoffs start Monday, and we don't want to wear out anybody's arms. So, on the subject of the playoffs semifinals start this Monday. The matchups are set. The number 1 seeded Junction City Brigade will play against the Midwest A's, the 4 seed, where the Topeka Warhawks will host the 3rd seeded Baldwin City Blues. We will have at least one broadcast a night on those. Trying for 2, but we will see. But looks like we are ready to go. And first batter for the the MSBL All-Stars is Jamin Beck, who takes the first pitch by Christian Fernandez in there for called strike 1, and that elicits a pretty big cheer from what I believe to be the Topeka contingent. Have a pretty packed house here as Beck swings and misses, kind of a check swing, but looked more determined. But the count is 0-2, make that 1-2. And Grady, I don't know what you've seen, but it looks like Fernandez is kind of trying to prefer that outside part of the zone a little bit.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a good job of mixing his pitches around so far. Obviously, like you stated, he's probably not going to go maybe more than 1 or 2 innings. So try to get a feel for all of his pitches early. He showed a little bit of the off speed, goes to change up there, tries to find the corner, but he's definitely working the outside portion of the plate right now.
Yep, that 1-2 outside for 2-2. And the next pitch in there for called strike 3. Beck is sat down, and Christian Fernandez with the first out of the game, the first strikeout for his own, and the first for either team. But yeah, we have a pretty packed house here at Rathert Stadium, and I'd imagine as it's 7:11 and 7:10 was the first pitch, we'll have a lot more people filing in as Alex Wahaski, the next batter up, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and I kind of like what Fernandez is doing. He goes outside, but then obviously on that strikeout to Beck, he went on the inside and caught the front portion of the plate. He's setting up his batters in a pretty fantastic way so far.
Yep, you just kind of lull them into the outside. The next one, you think it's going to be outside, and then it goes inside. As that's another one. That's 3 pitches all outside, and that was the first 4 pitches that Beck saw were outside. Obviously, 2 of them were were strikes, but the 3-0 outside once again, ball 4. And the MSBL All-Stars have their first base runner of the game.
Number 18, Samuel Dew.
And Samuel Dew steps up. So, while he's in the game, I feel it would be appropriate to read Christian Fernandez's stat line. Boasts 43 innings pitched with a 3.093 ERA. That is good for second in the league right now, as he fires that one in for strike 1. 24 runs, 19 of them earned, a batting average against of 177, and a blistering 70 strikeouts. As this one is hit to A.J. Alvarez at short, he makes the play over at second. It was originally offline, but Fermin made the tag, so that will be a fielder's choice and 2 down to start the top of the first inning, excuse me.
Yeah, and a good play by Fermin, kind of a broken play. Was taken off the bag, but recovered, made the tag, and all you can do in that situation is try and get the lead runner, and that's exactly what Fermin did there.
Yeah, that could have easily ended up with runners on first and second, 1 out, but now you have the second out, and you get the lead runner, and in steps Fernando Esquivel with a not uncommon to maybe the Baldwin City Blues, but uncommon to many of the other teams in this league, as Esquivel takes a big swing and miss, strike 1. He's wearing the cutoff sleeves like maybe one of those like classic Cincinnati Reds, but making it his own look. Deal 1, low and away, ball 1. So it is a pretty cool night here in Junction City. Currently looking at 77 and cloudy. However, feels like 75, and that's perfect baseball weather if you ask me, and I don't think we've got a whole lot of it this summer. As the 1-1 inside pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Another good job by Fernandez to mix his pitches. Fastball, and then shows the off-speed on the 0-1, and then goes back to the fastball. Gets Esquivel kind of off guard, kind of was expecting another off-speed pitch. Let's see what he throws here.
1-2, right down the heart of the plate, force called strike 3, and it was the fastball. Did it again, make that 2 strikeouts for Christian Fernandez. If that is in fact the end of his day, then it would be just 1 base runner, I guess 2 allowed. But that'll do it here in the top of the first inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. We will go to the bottom of the first after a break. Ian Luce leads off the bottom of the first inning for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. He sees the first pitch low for ball one. The pitcher for the MSBL All-Stars is Jake Slocum. As the 0-1 catch, or excuse me, the 1-0 catches the outside part of the plate for strike one. Luce, a native of nearby Manhattan, will be playing his second season at Kelly Community College in the fall, as he sees the 1-1 blown away for 2-1. As he chops this one up the middle to Alex Lahaski at second base. The throw to first is in time. One down on what appeared to be kind of a, obviously this being a turf surface, you might not always see it hop up like that. I feel like that's maybe a staple of a grass field, but maybe more on a lip. So
yeah, the turf is pretty bouncy, and that was a good play by Lahoski to come up and field that quickly and fire over, because Luce is not slow on any means. He's quick, and when he gets on, he can steal a bag.
Yep, and that was a close play at first. And speaking of somebody that can steal a bag, it's Brennan Johnson at the plate, who is the Mid-Plains League stolen bases leader with 18. He's currently seeing an 0-2 count. However, the 0-2 high and away for 1-2. And Johnson is somebody that really, for the most part, puts the ball in play, as the 1-2 once again low and away for 2-2. Does have 12 walks. Johnson hitting .366 with a .536 OBP. Sees another pitch outside for ball three. So what started as an 0-2 count is now 3-2. And very much right back in it. And all it takes is one pitch to send him to first, but we will see. The payoff pitch hit up into right field. Travis Weidenberger tried to make a play on it, but could not. A one-out single for Brennan Johnson. And the Mid-Plains League All-Stars have their first base runner of the game for Easton Wassinger, the next man up. And I was going to say it, I didn't want to jinx him. Brennan Johnson has only struck out one time this season.
Yeah, I mean, a good job by him. Comes back down from down 0-2 and sees three outside pitches, and then they come over to the middle part of the plate, and he was ready for that.
And now we have Easton Wassinger of the Midwest A's, who sees the first pitch to him high for ball one. Wassinger, a native of Overland Park, and I believe the only NCAA Division I player in this lineup, as he is a St. Louis Billiken. Wasn't going to quiz you on that, but I think you would have gotten it anyway.
Can you name the St. Louis University High School mascot?
Oh, I used to know
similar.
it. I used to know it. It's not like the baby Billikens, is it?
Close. Very close, actually.
Is it like junior Billikens?
It's the junior Billikens.
Okay, it's a lot like the Rockhurst High School being the Hawklets, when Rockhurst is the Hawks, or Washburn Rural being the Junior Blues, as Wassinger fouls one off to make the count 1-1, or one more in Kansas, McPherson College being the Bulldogs, and McPherson High School being the Bull Pups. But Easton Wassinger currently hitting at .362 with a .500 on-base percentage. His 11 doubles leads the Mid-Plains League, and he will look to keep that going in both this game and the playoffs coming up. But he sees 1-1 make that 2-1 on the outside pitch.
Yeah, and Slocum's kind of gone to the same strategy Fernandez showed in the first, and that's throw outside, try and catch the corner, because you don't want to come inside to these guys because it'll be trouble.
As Wassinger swings and misses, the count now 2-2. Slocum fires back first to try to catch Brennan Johnson, but cannot find him. I missed something. How did Brennan get to second base? The 2-2 swung on and missed for strike 3.
Delayed steal.
Delayed steal? Okay, so stolen base obviously doesn't count for the stats, but he does get a stolen base, and I apologize to you all for missing that. But the swing and the miss means that strikeout number 1 for Jake Slocum, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. However, the Mid-Plains League All-Stars with a runner on first, and at the plate they have one of the hottest bats in the Mid-Plains League. It is Joel Piguero. Piguero hitting .424 with an on-base percentage of .520. His 36 hits leads the Mid-Plains League.
Yeah, and Piguero is one of those guys who, like I said to Wassinger, if you come inside to him or you miss your spot, he will make you pay. 4 home runs on the year, and
as he hits this one into the glove of actually into the outfield. Brendan Johnson running home, and there will not be a play. An RBI single by Joel Piguero, and we have our first run of the game. It's the Mid-Plains League All-Stars taking a 1-0 lead. So just like that, like you said, yeah.
George Andrews.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. The ball played the turf a little bit. It bit up due, and it got through, and Johnson quick enough leading the league in stolen bases shows why he gets around the bases quick.
And now you have the second place, the second most stolen bases on first base in Joel Piguero, who has 17. And at the plate you have the home run derby champion, George Andrews, who sees a 1-0 count, make that a 2-0 count. And all of a sudden it just got really quiet in here. I don't like that.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of chatters, but...
Yep, as the 2-0 swung on and missed, make that 2-1. And like I said earlier, George Andrews, 2 home runs on the year with a batting average of .370. He can put one out, as obviously he put a few out today, defeating Baldwin City Blue Cade Adams in the championship round. However, his route to get there was a little different. He did not hit any home runs in the first round. Then they went to a tiebreaker where he hit 2 with just 3 outs to play with and ended up making it as the 3-1 is low and inside, and that is ball 4, but you had to think with Piguero on second and that ball being pretty close to the backstop, obviously Piguero was itching to take third as a possibility, but he holds up at second, and AJ Alvarez from the Midwest A's, another home run derby participant, up at the plate. Piguero was as well. The first pitch AJ Alvarez sees is deep into center field, not that deep. Beck is under it, and he makes the grab. 3 outs, but the damage is done. 1 run off, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. The Mid-Plains League All-Stars strike first and take a 1-0 lead. We'll see if the MSBL All-Stars can respond. We will find out after the break. Danny Holmes leads off the top of the second inning for the MSBL All-Stars. They currently face a 1-0 deficit, and we have a new pitcher. Actually, never mind, we don't have a new look infield, but it is a new pitcher. It is Ty Clark. The first pitch by Clark in there for called strike one.
Yeah, Ty is leading the league in ERA.
Leading the league in ERA, yes,
Yeah.
he is, as his next pitch is outside for ball one. Ty Clark with a 2.333 repeating ERA out of 24 innings pitched, and he's very much a pitch-to-contact player, as this one into the left field stands. Strike two, 1-2. Just seven strikeouts to his credit, but does very well, obviously, at keeping the runs to a minimum, as there's another strikeout, swing and a miss, and Danny Holmes, a dangerous power hitter as well, sat down on strikes, and in steps Charlie Badowski.
Yeah, Ty Clark only 7 strikeouts on the year, and then gets Danny Holmes, who has proven he can put the ball out of the ballpark on any given night. But
Yep.
yeah, Ty, not your typical pitcher, mid 70s with his fastball. Like you said, pitches to contact, big movement guy.
And one thing that I did notice is that pitch is low for ball one. Not something I noticed, but in talking to some of the other members of the Baldwin City pitching staff, you look and Ty throws the ball pretty effortlessly.
Yeah, it's a pretty smooth mechanics, typical lefty in terms of that. Just throws to contact, and it pays off.
I'd say if he was around during like the maybe the 30s, you could get a lot of complete games out of him, as he has the count at 1-2. The 1-2 high, 2-2. Clark will be a senior at Baker University in Baldwin City. However, originally from right here in Junction City, playing at his high school park. As the 2-2 is hit to A.J. Alvarez at short. He makes the throw over to first in time. It was an A's to A's connection there. Alvarez to Wassinger. Maybe not A's to A's in name, but A's to A's in team. 2 outs.
Yeah, a good play by Alvarez. It kind of looked like the ball was going to eat him up. It was hard on a line and came up into his rib cage and just corralled it easily and made the throw over to his teammate in Wassinger.
Yeah, it looked like he had to kind of backhand that a little bit as well. As Cam Messerschmidt, the next batter up, and Ty Clark called strike one. But Clark has done pretty well, I believe. In games in which he has pitched, Clark is 3-0 himself, as that one foul tipped into the glove of Zach Becker, the count 0-2. 3-0 himself, however, Baldwin City is 4-1 when Ty Clark pitches. As the 0-2 is fouled off, and we will do it again. So yeah, and I think really only one of those outings did he exit the game with his team losing. So he really always sets up his team well to try and do it. And called strike 3. That'll do it here in the top of the second inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. The Mid-Plains League All-Stars still lead 1-0. They get a chance to add to that after the break. Tyler Tamez leads off the
Up to bat from the
bottom of the second inning for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. Making his first at-bat of the game. Mid-Plains League All-Stars taking as Tamez shows bunt, pulls back, but it's still called strike one. Tamez, a member of the Baldwin City contingent, hitting .393 on the season. A little bit of a late ad, but definitely it has been an effective one when he's played for Baldwin City. As that one, he wears that straight in the back, and well, I think he's taking it a little better than I would.
Yeah, you could hear that from up here. I mean, that got all meat on his body. But he's a big dude and he's a tough guy, so walk to first, take your base, and have a day.
But he makes it to first base the hard way. And for the second consecutive inning, the Mid-Plains League All-Stars have a runner on. And Zach Becker, the first batter up. And this one he didn't have to turn on it much, but fouled it off. Becker, the catcher in this game, he's from nearby Manhattan, however, attended Rock Creek High School in St. George, which is still nearby, but not as nearby as Manhattan. Manhattan is east of here, and St. George is east of Manhattan. But Becker spent 2 years at Coffeyville, but will be at Newman next season. All right, Grady, do you know Newman's mascot? As that one's in there for called strike two.
The Newman University Jets out of the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletic Association, otherwise known as the MIAA.
Very good, very good. Newman used to have a really cool logo, but then they changed it, and it's not as fun as Tamez went, but Becker swung, and that nearly hit somebody in that dugout. Obviously, with this being an all-star game, everybody's sitting out in the inside of the dugout is effectively empty, and everybody's sitting out in front just kind of wanting to watch the show, which obviously I think is very fun.
No fear over on that third base dugout.
Yeah, I currently would, but that one's hit into left field. Beck makes the grab, and Tamez back at first. One away. I miss the old Newman logo though.
The navy one with the circle.
Yeah.
It was cool. I like the powder blue edition now.
Yeah, I will say the old one looked really cool on a bowling jersey, but the Newman bowling jerseys now look really, really cool. As Stephen Fermin, the ninth batter, so he rounds out the bottom of the order as Tamez goes. The throw over in time. As I believe that was a ball. And Fernando Esquivel showing off a little bit, and I don't blame him. 2 outs now after Tamez caught on the base pass. And Fermin sees the next pitch he sees, a kind of slow looping breaking ball, but he fouls that off to even up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, on that throw by Esquivel, he kind of showed that he kind of set the tone there for base stealers that it's not a given to steal on him.
Yeah, and it was definitely a close play, but obviously, close doesn't show up in the scorebook. Just shows up as an out, whether you're out by 45 feet or 4. As that one fouled off, and the count even at 2-2. So should Fermin reach base, we will go back to the top of the order with Ian Luce. However, obviously, we will see if that happens. The count is 2-2 with 2 outs, bottom of the second. It's a lot of twos.
Deuce is wild.
Deuce is wild. And with that being ball 3, the house is now full. I came up with that last night.
You sure did.
The count is full. I came up with a lot last night. I had some... Yeah. If you missed out, you can go back and watch it, but you also missed out. The payoff pitch hit up into the air, and this gets into the shallow outfielder, Travis Weidenberger, calling it off. Actually, it was Beck trying to get it, and Fermin, so the ball got down, and Fermin originally tried to go to second, and then turned around and got caught trying to go back to first base. So a little bit of a base running misstep, and the Mid-Plains League All-Stars not able to extend their lead, but it is still 1-0, and we will come back with the top of the third after the break. Jake Slocum out to lead off the top of the third for the MSBL All-Stars. We have a new pitcher for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. It is Austin Rocha. His first pitch in there for called strike one. And obviously both pitchers for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars going just one inning each, as the 0-1 is inside for 1-1. Fernandez, one inning pitch, 4 batters faced, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and Ty Clark just a tiny bit better, 3 batters faced, 2 strikeouts, but no walk, as this one is hit up the middle into center field. The MSBL All-Stars have their first hit of the game.
Yeah, Slocum helps himself there. Kind of thought Arocha would try and put a glove on the ball. He kind of leaned back over to his glove side, try to make a play on it. It just got through. Good piece of hitting there by Slocum.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if maybe he thought he had help behind him, as Travis Weidenbender lays down a bunt. The throw over to first is in time. Arocha did field it that time. However, Jake Slocum into second base, so the job is done. The runner is moved, but 1 out, and Jamin Beck, the top of the lineup once again for Baldwin City. Beck 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And one thing I've noticed as that pitch goes low for ball 1 is Slocum's the pitcher, so no DH for the visitors, and I mean, we'll see if they decide what they're going to do pitching-wise. I think they might have a couple more arms. I think they might have a couple more arms in their like just their starting 9 right now, but otherwise, we'll see.
Yeah, we may see some guys come in from the field.
As Arocha throws back to second, cannot find Slocum. That was close though.
Yeah, good back pick from Arocha. Kind of got Slocum off his feet. Just a little late on the throw.
Yeah, not a huge lead by Slocum either, and he still almost got him as this one is hit foul. Into not the parking lot, did not leave the premises of the stadium, which is good because I'm parked a little further that way. I do not want to lose a ball, or I don't want to lose a windshield. I'm lucky that in my 4 years doing this, I don't think I've lost one yet. Is this one hit into center field? Ian Luce is under it. Slocum's looked ready to tag, but I think he would have been out by a good amount if he tried it.
I don't know if he would have gotten halfway to third.
I'm not sure either. But that means 2 outs, and Alex Lahaski steps back up. Lahaski was, prior to this inning, the only base runner for the MSBL All-Stars, where he reached via a 4-pitch walk, and the first pitch he sees here is a ball, so he's seen 5 balls. Looking back at Slocum, but ends up throwing home and catches a strike on the outer part of the zone. So the count even up at 1-1. The 1-1 low for ball 2. And you have to wonder, well, the joke is past. I was going to say he's seen 5 balls. Wonder if he likes Texas A&M. But that tracks as this ball is hit into center field, or right center field. Slocum heading home, and tie ball game. The MSBL All-Stars tied up at 1 off the 2-out RBI single by Jake Slocum.
Yeah, and I was talking about it in the first with the Mid-Plains All-Stars. You don't want to throw inside to those guys. Well, Arocha goes inside to Lahoski and finds the gap, and Slocum comes in and produces for himself.
As first pitch Dew sees is hit to Peguero at third. The throw to first is in time. The MSBL All-Stars tie it back up at 1. Off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. We will see how the Mid-Plains League All-Stars respond after the break. Ian Luce leads off the bottom of the third for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. This game level at 1, courtesy of an Alex Lahaski RBI single. The first pitch that Luce sees is into right field on the ground for a single. And the video's going poo-poo, so I will attempt to wipe it up.
First for number 3, Brennan Johnson.
Right in time for Brennan Johnson. Johnson had the first hit of the game and would later go on to score. In the top of the first, Ian Luce scores. Called strike 1. That ball way offline, but Well done by Alex Zahaski to, because I think that was supposed to go to the shortstop Dew, but obviously offline, but would have not been in time anyway. But the Mid-Plains League All-Stars with a runner at first, a runner at second, a runner in scoring position. Brandon Johnson swings and misses on that one. So he sees 0-2. It is, wow. The 0-2 fouled off and actually hits the, I will say, rolling pretty slowly, but did hit the cleat of Zach Becker.
Yeah, hit the foot of Becker. He kind of just stomped on it. He's laying down there on the right by the dugout.
Yeah, it did not go quickly, but the count is still 0-2 to Johnson as loose goes, and the 0-2 was a quick fastball that was low and sounded like a small sonic boom as it hit the backstop, but loose was there before, well before, so it's not a wild pitch. It is a stolen base. Mid-Plains League with runner on third and 1-2.
Yeah, now the NBSL All-Stars kind of bring everybody into the grass.
And Johnson hits one straight to Alex Lahaski at second. He thought about going home, but ends up going to first. The throw to first is in time, but Ian Luce scores anyway, so job done, RBI for Johnson. And the bases are clear. Mid-Plains League with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, baseball is a game of getting productive outs, and that was one right there for Johnson, and the MPL All-Stars go back up 2-1.
As Ethan Wassinger fouls the first pitch off that he sees down the third base line, and yeah, it really could have gone either way. And Lahaski, it was a snap decision. Looked like he was going home, and didn't look. It looked decently close at second, so maybe if he thought about that for a little longer, especially with the speed of Johnson, easily could have gone with the situation where the run scores and you don't get the out anyway. But Wassinger sees 1-1, and he fouls one off, this time on the first base side.
Yeah, breaking pitch that he was pretty early on. Came in slow rolling, and he just shifted his momentum a little too soon.
And the 1-2 low, or 2-2. And I was about to make this remark earlier, so obviously Baldwin City, or not Baldwin City, wow, I'm on regular game autopilot. The Mid-Plains League, as this pitch goes high, and the count is now full. The Mid-Plains League All-Stars rotating their pitchers, each pitcher getting about an inning each, but this is Jake Slocum out for a third inning of work. The 2-2 chopped foul right in front of the first base line. Count remains full. Slocum now after that pitch at 47. Meanwhile, any pitcher, the highest pitch count for anybody is actually Christian Fernandez at 15. The 2-2 hit into left field, but Charlie Badowski with a nice catch to retire Wassinger. That means a second out in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Badowski saving 2, maybe 3 bases there. Came in on it, read it wrong, but makes a leaping catch, and 2 retired now here in the third.
Yep, and now we have Joel Piguero up. Piguero 1 for 1. I believe he actually drove in the first run of the game, which was Brendan Johnson. The first pitch Piguero sees on this at-bat is inside for ball 1. But, yeah, the Monarchs can't afford to have a pitcher go long, as they don't have any playoffs coming up to worry about. I said the Monarchs, it's the MSBL All-Stars, but as I said at the top of the game, it is essentially the Kansas City Monarchs. However, it is the MSBL All-Stars. This one is hit to do at short. The throw over to the throw. The first is mishandled by the first baseman, Messerschmidt. So that's going to be an error by Messerschmidt. And what would have gotten out of the inning, the Mid-Plains League All-Stars have new life.
Yeah, Duke kind of rushed that throw. Had a little more time than he thought and just bounced it, and Messerschmidt couldn't come up with it.
Yep, and now we have Andrews, who 0 for 0 in this game with just a walk. Sees another ball there for ball one. And I think we remarked, as that one catches the outer part of the zone, strike one. We remarked earlier when Peguero got on, you have a lot of speed back on the base pass, and it wouldn't shock me to see Peguero maybe try to take second base. It's currently uncovered. The 1-1 looked maybe a little low.
Yeah, Dew is playing just about to the outfield grass, and Lahosky is playing in the outfield grass. So the middle infield back for the MSBL All-Stars.
The 2-1 fouled off 2-2. And, yep, no band shift here in the Mid-Plains League, so you can kind of do whatever you want fielding configuration-wise. I would like to see some maybe more fun ones. I always like when MLB teams kind of try to get around the shift, as this one is into left field and straight to the glove of Charlie Bdowski. He is retired, but the Mid-Plains League All-Stars take the lead back. They off 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on. They lead 2-1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning after the break. Fernando Esquivel leads off the top of the 4th inning for the MSBL All-Stars. First pitch he sees by new pitcher Jared White is outside for ball 1.
The second pitcher from Topeka, Fernandez threw the first. So now we've seen 2 pitchers from Topeka and 2 pitchers from Baldwin City so far.
Yep, and I'd imagine soon we will probably get a pitcher from one of the other teams. The 1-1 is outside for ball 2. Jared White, a native of South Africa, as he swings and misses, Esquivel swings and misses for strike 2. Actually, White not even the only South African on that Topeka Warhawks roster, along with second baseman Darian Pretorius. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Jared White has his first, and Fernando Esquivel strikes out for a second time. 1 gone here in the top of the 4th inning, and Danny Holmes back up at the plate.
Number 13, Danny Holmes, up next.
But White mainly been a reliever for that Topeka Warhawks squad. The first pitch he sends to Danny Holmes is high for ball one. White with a 1.78 ERA off 19 and 2/3 innings pitched, has given up just 8 runs this year, 5 of them earned. As this one hit into center field, Ian Luce doesn't have to venture very far to grab that one. 2 gone. And in steps Charlie Badowski.
Number 12, Charlie Badowski.
And another thing that I've noticed about Jared White is his strikeout to walk ratio, as he finds the outside part of the zone for called strike one. His strikeout to walk ratio is really, really high. 17 strikeouts, 5 walks, and only 1 hit by pitch as well, so he's not giving up a lot of free bases compared to the guys that he sits down on strikes and keeps the ball out of play. And especially, pitch to contact guys can be very beneficial. However, if you have runners on, then they can, move the next guy over. As the 2-1, now 3-1, but if you strike out, obviously, they're resorting to trying to steal and stuff like that, but seems to work for White, who has a 3-1 count. This one hit into the shallow outfield, and Stephen Fermin makes the grab. So a second 1-2-3 inning for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. They lead 2-1, and with that, we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning after the break. We are back with the bottom of the 4th inning. AJ Alvarez swings and misses at the first pitch by a new pitcher for the MSBL All-Stars. It is Alex Knight. And the next pitch to Alvarez is low for ball 1, so he sees a 1-1 count. Alvarez himself is 0 for 1 in this game with a flyout, looking to get a hit on what could be possibly his last at bat. I'm anticipating maybe a lineup change soon I'm anticipating a lineup lineup change soon for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars as the 1-2 is inside for 2-2.
Yeah, I think you may be right. It seems like there's some guys starting to get stretched, starting to throw a little bit on that third base side.
As the 2-2 is hit into the glove of Dew. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Next up, representing the Baltimore City Blues, it's number 16, Tyler Tamez.
As Tyler Tamez back up for his second at bat. Tamez wore a pretty fast, pretty quick pitch right on the back in his last at bat. He swings and misses at first offering. However, was caught stealing, so I think if he steals again, you can bet that he's probably going to be a little more careful than last time, as you don't maybe always want to run on Fernando Esquivel as the inside off speed, and therefore called strike 2. So Jake Slocum's day is done. 3 innings pitched, 14 batters faced. 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. One walk, 1 hit by pitch, 1 strikeout. And Tamez nearly got hit by another pitch. That one whizzing just above his helmet. But it didn't hit him. And all that means it's a ball. So the count now 1-2. Make that called strike 3. Catches the outer part of the zone for the second out of the inning. And Alex Knight's first strikeout of the evening. So actually, and that's just strikeout number 2 by MSBL All-Star, the MSBL players. However, the Mid-Plains League team with 5 Mid-Plains League pitchers have struck out 5. As Zach Becker 0 for 1 himself with a flyout. He is could be the last man up in the bottom of the 4th inning. As the next pitch he sees is low and away. Make that ball 2. The 2-0 hit up the middle, but Dew is going to make a play on it and whizzes that to Cam Messerschmidt at first in time. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, none left on. The first 1-2-3 in the bottom of the innings. And we will go to the top of the 5th after the break. Cam Messerschmidt leads off the top of the fifth for the MSBL All-Stars. As we have a new pitcher, and he fires one in there for called strike one. That new pitcher is Luis De La Cruz. Has swing and a miss. The count quickly 0-2, and De La Cruz has been a steady rock for this Topeka Warhawks relief. The 0-2, nice breaking ball after two fastballs fouled off by Messerschmidt, but the count remains 0-2. De La Cruz has 15 2/3 innings pitched and has not given up a single hit. An ERA of 0, obviously a batting average against of 0, and make that strike 3, swing and a miss. De La Cruz has his first strikeout of the evening.
Yeah, and he's a pure flamethrower. I mean, he sits low 90s, 91, 92, and showed a little off speed there too. Shows he can mix in some pitches.
Yep, and I guess so we did have it wrong. Maybe it's just a little different because it is an all-star game. Jake Slocum will remain in the DH spot. Normally, if this was a regular game, it would be Alex Knight coming in, but it is Jake Slocum, who sees the first two pitches as balls. But yeah, De La Cruz, 30 strikeouts, and has given up some base runners via 14 walks and 3 hit by pitches, but he's and obviously he's probably only going to have just one inning of work, so he can really, really go all out and throw his fastest fastballs, the likes of maybe which some of these guys haven't seen. But his next pitch is outside for ball 3.
Yeah, and if there's a game to show everything that you have, it's this one right here.
As the 3-1 in there for called strike 2, so the count now full. And obviously we don't have a radar gun up here, but Grady, what would you say that what do you think that De La Cruz is throwing right now at his fastest fastball as he strikes out another, and there is 2 away?
Yeah, I've seen that he's gotten up to low 90s, around 91, 92, 93. I'd say right now he's laboring just a tad, maybe 88, 89, topping at about 90.
Yep, and Luis De La Cruz will be taking his talents to the NJCAA next year for Dallas College Richland as he mixes in a nice breaking ball in there for called strike 1. Do you know Richland's mascot?
I do not.
One of my favorites in all of college sports, they are the Thunder Ducks. As this one hit up into the air in foul territory, but Easton Wassinger makes the grab, and that'll do it here in the top of the 5th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors. Luis De La Cruz strikes out 2, and we will go to the bottom of the 5th after the break. We are back with the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mid-Plains League All-Stars still lead by a score of... They still lead by a score of... a score of 2-1. We have a few defensive or offensive substitutions that we will communicate to you as the check swing called strike 2. So it is Alex Knight out for another inning of work. As the 0-2 hit into center field over the head. Oh, nice. Beautiful, beautiful catch by Jake Slocum.
Yeah, hard hit ball by Groh, and Slocum ranged back on it, made a nice over-the-shoulder grab.
Yep, great play, and obviously they don't show that in the scorebook, but we still want to give him his flowers anyway. As we have a new batter in the leadoff spot. It is no longer Ian Luce, it is Jack Harris, and the first pitch he sees is outside for ball 1. Harris hitting greatly right now. And almost absurd, maybe video game numbers even, 512 batting average.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy numbers, and he's done that off of 41 at bats, so it's not like it's a super small sample size either. He finished his two years of junior college at Allen Community College and will be going somewhere else next season, but I believe that is still to be determined. Jack Harris, originally, though, a Blue Valley Tiger. The 3-0 in there for called strike 1. As the sun is starting to set a little more in Junction City, the lights are on, and Harris swings and the count goes full. And I feel like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like every time there's a full count, there's one out. So it's always 3-2-1.
There's been a 3-2-2.
I know there has been a 3-2-2 once.
Not
it
for a
seems
while,
like
though.
a lot. But the payoff pitch is low. And Jack Harris shows some of that plate discipline and works himself another walk. Not only
Coming to the plate now, it's number 16, Sammy Padilla.
Jack Harris also been hit by a pitch 6 times this season, as the first pitch to Sammy Padilla is in there for called strike 1, and we have on deck Alex Alleman, who will replace Easton Wassinger. As first pitch, Sammy Padilla fouls that one off, and the count now 0-2, and that's, I believe, the second 0-2 in this inning for Slocum. Slocum's gone 0-2, or like to start as far as strings, it's 0-2, 3-0, 0-2, as Slocum threw over to first, and I think Harris looked like he was trying to slide back, but he didn't have enough like distance space to slide, so he just kind of did this half like fold thing. But he was safe, and the 0-2 is low for ball one, and Esquivel didn't get that cleanly, but I think he maybe wanted to show off once again, and I did not blame him.
Yeah, he wanted to make it throw again. He wanted to make it interesting.
And Esquivel, I did note earlier in the game, with the cutoff jersey, is the 1-2 is outside to even up the count at 2-2. Really does remind me a lot of Johnny Bench, especially him being a catcher.
Yeah, pretty similar. The Reds wore those uniforms back in Bench's era.
And this one hit to Holmes at third. The throw over to first is not in time. And actually, I believe that is not Danny Holmes.
This Samuel Dew, I believe.
I believe that is... Yeah, that is Samuel Dew, and I missed a substitution somewhere along the line. So we will figure that out. However, there is 2 outs off the fielder's choice. As Alex Allman hits one into left center field, and it's caught by Jake Slocum at the warning track, as that was gone, and I think 3 out of 4 parks in the Mid-Plains League, but not this one. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. The Mid-Plains League still leads 2-1. MSBL will try to tie the game up after the break. Jamin Beck leads things off here in the top of the 6th inning. The MSBL All-Stars currently trail by a score of 2-1, and we have a new pitcher and a slew of new fielders. Starting with, as this one is hit over the head of Sammy Padilla, he cannot locate it. Beck is going to second, and he will remain there. A stand-up double by Jamin Beck, and the MSBL All-Star team with their second, with their second runner, I believe that's their second runner in scoring position, and they do it with nobody out. This is a new pitcher for Mid-Plains League All-Stars. It is, I will tell you who it is, as Alex Lahaski lays down a bunt, and I think he knew pretty well in there that he was out, and kind of jogged but moves the runner back to third. So MSBL with a runner on third with 1 out, as now that you have Samuel Dew up, all he has to do is, get a decently hit fly ball into the outfield, and Beck will score. And
even a ball to the right side, the middle infielders are playing straight up, so anything to the right side or up the middle should score Beck. He's quick, so
yeah, seen a lot of quickness from Beck, and we will go through the batting order the new fielders for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars in just 1 minute. The count now 3-1, so obviously Dylan Quezada from Topeka, the new pitcher. Zach Becker, the catcher, as Quezada fires one in there for called strike 1. Zach Becker remains the catcher, and first is Alex Ullman. AJ Alvarez shifts over from short to second base. Logan Groh is now at shortstop. Cade Adams of Baldwin City, as this one is hit deep to left field. Sammy Padilla giving chase, and he makes the grab at the wall, but that drives him back, and I think I thought there was a shot that was gone. Great fielding by Padilla just to keep that ball in play, but well hit, and I kind of thought that might have gone out, but
yeah,
the game's
Brett would have admired that launch angle there.
Oh,
big analytics guy, but
yeah, I talked a lot about the launch angle in the home run derby because that seemed to be the only time it's relevant.
Yeah, that ball took Padilla back. He made a great play on it, but drives in the run, and we're tied at 2.
Yep. As the first pitch that Fernando Escobar sees is a ball. So finishing up, it is Cade Adams at third base. Quezada's 1-0, now 1-1. In left field, Sammy Padilla. In center field, Jack Harris. And in right field, from the Midwest A's, Aiden Morgan. The 1-1, 1-2. Quezada, a native of Corpus Christi, Texas, will be a junior at Arlington Baptist University in the fall. Has 18 1/3 inning pitched with an ERA of 1.527. And strikes out Escobar there. But this game is tied back up. 1 run, courtesy of 1 run off 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. The MSBL All-Stars get the job done at least temporarily, and we'll see how the Mid-Plains League responds after the break. We're back with the bottom of the 6th inning. This game now tied back up. And we have a Cade Adams who sends the first pitch that he sees to shortstop, who makes a nice throw and retires Adams. And Adams retires Adams. And that is wow, jamming back at short as we have Quinn Grobel up now at the plate, and I'll say Grobel did not live up to at least my expectations in the home run derby. However, I talked to him after, and he said he's not a BP hitter, and that he's a live AB guy, and well, he showed it. He leads the league in as the I thought that was a little further outside than what a normal strike would be, but it is a strike nonetheless. Strike, so 1-1, but Grobel leads the league in home runs with 5, as well as on-base percentage and OPS, but he sends this one to Alex Lahaski at second. Throw over to first in time. 2 down. Maybe Brett was right. Maybe if he had the launch angle up, that would have done something.
Yeah, kind of came inside on him. Didn't get the barrel of the bat, and he's using a new bat. I got to see him hit yesterday before the doubleheader against Junction City, and he's got a new bat, and so he's still trying to break that in a little bit.
Yep, that always matters as A.J. Alvarez takes a pitch inside for ball 1. It is Alex Knight out for, I believe this is his 3rd inning, so I don't know, as he sends this one straight to the glove of Samuel Dew. The throw over to third is in time, so a 1-2-3 inning in which each infielder touched the ball. It was short, second, third, all to first base, obviously. That'll do it here in the bottom of the 6th. We will come back with the top of the 7th inning after the break. Back with the top of the 7th inning, as we have a new pitcher. This is, I believe, Ian Luce. And Danny Holmes sends one into right field. Almost a play from right by right fielder Aiden Morgan, but it is not to be, and so it is number 10 for number 10. Dylan Quezada wearing number 10. Ian Luce wearing number 10 as well. But the first pitch to Charlie Badowski is a strike. So the count is 0-1 as Badowski check swings and almost does he hit a little too far to be a swinging bunt, but it's foul ball either way, 0-2.
That was a little excuse me swing there on the off speed from Lewis. He kind of looked at his bat, kind of second guessed himself.
So Ian Luce does re-enter this game. Has done pretty well so far. Not very many outings for Junction City on the mound. However, has 7 innings pitched and has given up just 1 run, giving him a 1 ERA. Next pitch he sees is a ball, a whip of 2, 18 strikeouts though.
Yeah, he's a big strikeout guy. Throws hard.
Yeah, so that's a K per 9 of around 20. As the count is 2-2 now to Charlie Badowski. Ooh, Zach Becker tried to frame that a little bit, but can't find that outside edge, and the count is now full. Payoff pitch low. And the MSBL All-Stars have 2 runners on with nobody out. So big opportunity for them.
Number 0, Cam Messerschmidt, now up.
Yeah, they've had some opportunities when they've got runners on in scoring position in this game. They've brought them in, so we'll see what they do here.
But it is Cam Messerschmidt. The first pitch he takes is high for ball 1. Make that low for ball 2. Messerschmidt 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Strikeout swinging and strikeout looking. And we're going to have a quick mound visit by acting manager Jose Suero of the Topeka Warhawks. And with that, we're going to take... Actually, this is going to be short enough. We don't have to take a break.
Quick mound visit.
Yep, quick mound visit, especially in an all-star game, and especially maybe a pitcher that, you know, you might not have as much experience with. Now, if it was Chandler Bloomer out there, it might have been a little longer, but... And they didn't even bring the infield in for it either, which is obviously a little different, but it is an all-star game. 3 managers coaching in tandem, I believe. Innings 1 through 3, innings 4 through 6, and now innings 7 through 9. As a 3-0 in there for called strike 1. Three, 1, and Messerschmidt thought that was strike. Messerschmidt thought that was ball 4. Maybe he thought it was a little low. Either way, they called it a strike, so the count's now full.
Yeah, he threw his bat all the way to the dugout.
Yeah, usually on a close pitch like that, they'll at least kind of motion towards doing it, but But now he has a payoff pitch to contend with. That's ball 4, so he's got it there, and the bases are now loaded.
And there he kind of double-checked to make sure he was allowed to go to first.
Bases juiced here for number 11, Jake Slocum.
And now Jake Slocum, the next batter up, and loose waste. I wouldn't call that necessarily a quick pitch, but didn't waste a whole lot of time once Slocum got in the box to go, and Luce is already ready to throw another pitch, which is fouled off into the beer garden in right field, or I guess down the right field line. The count now 0-2. But yeah, that is one thing I've noticed from Ian Luce is when he's pitching is that one finds the zone for called strike 3. Jake Slocum sat down on strikes, 1 away. But one thing I have noticed about Luce is he just doesn't waste a whole lot of time as Travis Weidenbender is the next batter up, and another strike by Luce.
Yeah, and I think this is a rhythm thing for Luce is when you keep the tempo up, you can stay in your rhythm. It's easier to find the zone, especially once you start finding it. And you can settle in a little bit more.
This one fouled off to the right side once again. So the count is now 0-2. Make that 0-3. Back-to-back 3-pitch strikeouts for Ian Luce. 2 down here in the top of the 7th. And it did... And actually, that did remind me of a former Junction City Brigade All-Star, Logan Redeker, who I remember. I don't know if you ever remember watching Logan Redeker pitched, but he would always come in relief and was very effective. And it seemed like he was taking maybe just a few seconds in between each pitch. I'll say it's maybe it's some of the end of the nights and you just wanted to go home as the count is now 3-0. You just wanted to go home, and he got you there. He was quick not only as the 3-0, and therefore called strike 1. But he would get you there mostly by doing something as that pitch fouled off. And the count now full.
Yeah, Becker's going to remind everyone here that the runners are going to be going with a full count.
And the 3-2 hit into the outfield, and that is Alex Badowski coming home the tag in time. So the first runner scores, but the second one. So Danny Holmes scores, but I believe I actually had it as Badowski. It is not. That was
Badowski.
Okay, I forgot. He's wearing a different number tonight than we have. That is a single. And then Badowski out trying to stretch that. And great throw by Aiden Morgan to catch. Great throw by Morgan and great tag by Becker to catch Badowski there. But the damage is done. The MSBL All-Stars score one run off, 2 hits, no errors. They strand 2, and we go to the bottom of the 7th after the break, with MSBL leading 3-2. So after a tremendous defensive play from right field, Aiden Morgan leads off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. For the first time in tonight's game, they trail as the first pitch that Aiden Morgan sees is shot. Samuel Dew made a great play on that and retired Morgan. So took one pitch, but there is now 1 out. And in steps Zach Becker. Becker 0 for 2 in this one, looking for his first hit. But like I said, for the first time in this game, the Mid-Plains League All-Stars are trailing. They currently trail 3-2 as first pitch to Becker in this at-bat is outside. However, comebacks can happen, and it's just 1 run. I don't know if you were at last year's All-Star game.
I've been at the past 2.
Okay, well, if you remember last year, I believe the East was up like 5 or 6 runs going into the bottom of the 9th, and the West came back and won it. And obviously that might happen again, as the count is now 1-1 to Becker. Make that 2-1. The next pitch from Alex Knight, low. The 2-1 hits a Jamin Beck at short. The throw over to first is in time.
There's one thing I learned in this inning. It's that you don't want to hit to the left side of this defense.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, even last inning too, where I will say the play in Samuel Dew, it wasn't necessarily the best hit ball, but in kind of swinging bunt territory where that easily could have been an infield single, as the first pitch to Logan Groh in this at-bat is a ball. So Logan Groh sees 0-1, make that 1-1. As I believe, we were talking about it before. Unless Alex Knight, unless a position player comes in, as that pitch comes outside for 2-1. Unless the position player comes in, then I believe Alex Knight will finish out this game. But we'll see.
He's cruised so far. 4 innings, kept his pitch count down.
Yep, as Groh swings and misses. Count now 2-2, so deuces are wild. The 2-2, swung on and missed. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. Another 1-2-3 inning for MSBL. And they lead 3-2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning after the break. Alex Lahaski leads off the top of the 8th inning. The MSBL All-Stars currently in front. We have a new pitcher for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. It is another re-entry of a starting position player. It is now Brennan Johnson from Baldwin City, who currently has thrown a ball and a strike. And swing and a miss makes that a ball and 2 strikes. So as we discussed last night, that's 67%.
It's a good
we
rate.
round up as the I'm going to let you describe that one because I don't know what that was, but it was swung on and missed for the first out of the inning.
I would like to say that that was a changeup that is still in development. Brennan's not an everyday pitcher, but it looked more like an ephus.
And I've been saying as the first pitch to Samuel Dew is a strike. I will say I've been saying for the longest time that this league needs a good ephus pitcher. So maybe if Brennan wants to be that guy for the remaining week that he has, then I'd welcome it.
It would certainly be interesting to watch.
The 1-1 in there for called strike 2. The 1-2 fouled off after kind of a half-hearted, not a check swing so much, but one of those just stick your bat out swings. But it's into the beer garden down the right field line. And the count remains 1-2. And another one of those just slow breaking balls, and Brennan Johnson has his second strikeout of the evening. This one looking.
Yeah, that one was a little more identifiable as a slider. Just comes in upper part of the zone and breaks into the middle, and Duke just caught off guard, not what he was looking for there.
I'm not sure this is what I was looking for either, as Fernando Esquivel steps in, looking for his first hit of the game. Esquivel, the catcher, currently 0-for-3. And he takes a big cut at the first pitch that he sees in this at-bat, and falls behind early at 0-1. make that 0-2. Is pretty sure that was in the zone, but Becker maybe helped it a little bit with the frame, but
I would say that caught the corner.
It did.
Good frame, good help from Becker.
The 0-2 swung on and missed, and Brendan Johnson strikes out the side. No runs off, no hits, no errors, none left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Mid-Plains League All-Stars will look to tie this game back up. Jack Harris leads off the bottom of the 8th inning. Currently trying to, as he fouls the first pitch off that he sees from Alex Knight. Count now 0-1 to him. The 0-1 hit into left field, and the Mid-Plains League All-Stars have their first hit off pitcher Alex Knight, and it comes off the first batter of the inning. So now Sammy Padilla steps in. Currently 0-1, but looking to drive that runner home. He sees the first pitch outside for ball 1. So it's been kind of a back-and-forth game for the most part. Mid-Plains League scoring first in the bottom of the first. Then MSBL tying it in the third as the 1-0 low for ball 2. Then the Mid-Plains League immediately countered with a run in the bottom of the third to take the lead back up. But runs in this 1 run each in the 6th and 7th inning as Sammy Padilla sends one up into the air. And Travis Weidenbender makes a play on it. He's going to run back to second, but he's going to try to double off Harris at first, however, cannot find him. So just 1 out is the damage there. But, yep, a run each in the 6th and 7th inning not only tied the game up for the MSBL All-Stars, but also gave them the lead. And Alex Alamon, the next batter up, and I believe in his only at bat, he nearly sent it out to nearly sent it out of the park.
Yeah, sent one to the wall, and Slocum made a nice play out there in right center.
But the count to Alex Alamon is 1-0. Make that 2-0. To Alamon outside again for ball 3, and it really looks like Knight's trying to keep Alamon from pulling one into right field. It looks like pretty much every pitch has been outside to him.
Yeah, I think he's learned from the last at bat he saw against them.
And the third pitch, high for ball 4. So the Mid-Plains League All-Stars with a second runner on, and we're going to have a courtesy runner for Alex Alamon. It is Tyler Tamez.
So he'll re-enter for now.
He will, and I believe, I'm not sure how, obviously Alamon was, I believe, the first baseman, so it wouldn't be a courtesy runner under the typical rules, but Tamez also would not be able to re-enter under typical rules. However, it is another dangerous hitter in Cade Adams. Up to the plate, who sees the first pitch in there for called strike 1.
It appears that Alamon is headed out to left field to
this pitch goes past the glove of Esquivel for what I would say to be a wild pitch. But it moves the runners up to second and third. And now the Mid-Plains League is in a position where all it takes is a sac fly. And as I said before, Adams, the home run derby runner-up, is a dangerous hitter. As the 1-1 catches the outer third of the zone for called strike 2. And I think he's doing the same thing to Adams that he did for Alamon, which is just favor that outside, and that one catches the outside part of the zone, and the crowd here in Junction City shows their displeasure. But it was about the same location as the last one, so if anything, he may be swinging at anything close, but definitely still outside. And it looks like, once again, I think it's really any power hitter that Knight is trying to favor that outside part of the zone, and he'll probably have to do it again in Quinn Grobel, as that one actually goes right down the chute for called strike 1.
Yeah, and it's a smart strategy by Knight. It keeps the power of the bigger bats to the opposite field, because if you try to pull, you'll end up rolling over.
And he throws outside once again, and Quinn Grobel turned the shoulders, but didn't bring the bat around really at all. So the count now 1-1 to him. The 1-1 outside, ball 2. Especially with Grobel being a lefty, and just 324 out there to right field compared to 342 in left. You really don't want to hang a pitch that Grobel can hit, as the 2-1 low, count now 3-1.
But Grobel's shown, in an earlier Baldwin City matchup this season here in Junction City, he took a ball to the opposite field and hit it about 40 feet over the left field wall, so he's shown he's got that power to the opposite field.
Yep, 2 home runs in 3 games. This is 3-1. Is inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. And A.J. Alvarez steps up, and the crowd is starting to stir a little bit, a little more chatter amongst the fans, trying to see the Mid-Plains League All-Stars try to pull this one out and at least get one runner back. As A.J. Alvarez up to bat for the fourth. Up to bat for the fourth. For the fourth time. Excuse me. Wow. He is no stranger to contact. As the first pitch goes in there for called strike one. All three of his. So he's over 3, but it's been fly out, ground out, I believe pop outs or line outs. So he's put the ball in play every time, and obviously you want to do this again, but as that one catches the outside part of the zone, and I'm starting to think really that this umpire favors the outside corner.
Yeah. And if it's close enough, he seems to have called it. He called 2 against Kate Adams, and now Alvarez gets the same treatment.
0-2 high for ball 1. But obviously, normally you would want contact, but and it's a little different now that there's 2 strikes, but the 1-2 fouled off. And Alvarez getting some support and some cheers once again from this crowd. And as long as Alvarez reaches first safely, the game will be tied. But behind in the count, he's got to do it first, either by facing 3 more balls or putting a ball in play. And, well, we'll see after the next pitch, as that pitch is high. The count now 2-2, so it's either 2 more balls now. But
good take by Alvarez there. That's a high breaking pitch that can find its way into his zone, and it's a hard take, and it's good discipline.
The 2-2, high and inside for 3-2. And yeah, as you were saying, I think that's a one that a lot of guys look at and they see, I can turn on this, and, they end up swinging and missing. But
swing and miss or pop-up, but big moment in this game, full count.
The count is now full. And this one hit into left field. Harris will score, and as will Tamez. Mid-Plains League not only tie the game up, they take the lead off a 2 RBI single by A.J. Alvarez. The game is now 4-3 in favor of the home team. And we were saying, obviously he has to get there. Full credit to Alvarez. He saw 0-2 there.
Yeah, that was a really good at-bat, and Knight had been painting the corners, and he sees the breaking pitch, and Alvarez finally gets a pitch, and, you said he had made contact all night, and he finally broke through there in a very crucial time in this game.
And the first pitch to Aiden Morgan is off the glove of Fernando Esquivel. So we're going to rule that a pass ball. And now her runner's back on second and third, but, yeah. Excuse me. Alvarez saw 0-2. Saw a couple ones where as Morgan swings and misses, the count now 1-1. But a couple times where, he saw a pitch in the zone and fouled it off to stay alive. And obviously, as Aiden Morgan fouls this one off down the third base side, count now 1-2. There's a couple times, I think maybe, and obviously I'm a terrible hitter, even though I am on an active 10-game hit streak. Let the record show. But if that was me in that situation and I see 3-2, he's thrown the last 3 pitches for balls, I'm probably hoping for a walk. But he got in there as the 1-2 fouled off. But, yeah, he knew.
Yeah, and it was one of those situations where it's full count. He kind of had some control issues with the off speed, and, you're just trying to get by, and, he throws a fastball, and that's what Alvarez was looking, and ropes it into left field, and new game.
Yep. As the 1-2 is outside for ball 2, and I think that may be the first time, maybe in this entire game, where hitting to the left side of the infield didn't, actually worked.
Yeah, it got through, just found the gap, was
the 2-2 pitch is foul-tipped into the glove of Fernando Esquivel, but the damage is done. 2 runs off 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars. They take the lead and look to shut the door with the top of the 9th inning, which will come after the break. We're back with the top of the 9th inning. It is Danny Holmes to lead this off, and Alex Allemon, the new pitcher for the Mid-Plains League All-Stars, looking to shut the door. First pitch that he fires is out of the zone for ball 1. And strike 1 the next, so the count even at 1-1. So Alban moves over from first. Keegan McDonald of the Junction City Brigade replaces him there. And I will say, I think this is the first time I've seen Alex Alban pitch this year. He's got a bit of zip.
Yeah, I'd say around mid-80s. But watched him in warm-ups, and he was finding the zone pretty easily.
As he hits one straight to Cade Adams at third. The throw over to first is in time. 1 down here in the top of the 9th.
1 down, 2 to go here as number 12.
As Charlie Badowski
looks to stop the bleeding.
Steps in and is going to try to do his best to get the MSBL All-Stars back into this. The first pitch he sees is in there for called strike 1.
It's a good breaking pitch by Allemon. I mean, Badowski was completely buckled up there.
As that one, Badowski wears it, and he does a bit of a quicker jog down to first base than maybe I would have expected. But Badowski is at first, and he does represent the tying run. So should he come home, the game is tied, and it is Cam Messerschmidt at the plate, who represents the leading run. And the first pitch that Messerschmidt sees is a little low for ball 1. The 1-0 hit up into the air. Zach Becker giving chase, and this one's out of play onto the roof. And he catches it off the bounce, and obviously not,
Let's play banana ball.
Yeah, no, we don't need to do that. But the count is 1-1. Make that 1-2. Nice fastball on the inside part of the zone.
Messerschmidt, not a big fan of that call. Kind of stared into the MSBL dugout after that, but caught the inside corner.
Yeah.
Now you got to protect.
We were talking about the ump as time is called. We were talking about the umpire favoring that outside corner. I think he really just likes the corners because I've seen him call that inside corner pitch a few times.
He's been pretty favorable.
And he has been consistent with his zone for sure. As the 1-2 high, and Cam Messerschmidt was maybe expecting breaking ball there instead of an off speed, or I don't know what he was expecting, and tried to turn into it and take it, and it just broke in. Yep. But the 2-2 low, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch. Hits Cade Adams at third. He makes the throw over to second, which is in time. The throw over to first. In time as well. A double play ends the game. So in that inning, no runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And that will do it here in the top of the. I'm gonna throw it to you, Grady.
Yeah, the All-Stars win 4-3. A big double play turned. As that'll just about wrap it up from historic Raythert Stadium here in Junction City. We thank you for tuning in to the 2024 Mid-Plains League All-Star Game. Again, the Mid-Plains League All-Stars take the win 4-3. And coming up this week, the playoffs will begin on Monday.
Yep, they will. I'm back. Had to take care of a couple of other duties. Yep, playoffs start on Monday. It'll be Baldwin City at Topeka on Monday for Game 1. I'm all out of breath. Baldwin City at Topeka for Game 1. Midwest A's here in Junction City for Game 1 as well on Monday. Then they will flip on Tuesday. It is a best of 3, so Tuesday is guaranteed. And I don't believe there will be a broadcast for Junction City and the A's on Monday. We're going to try and get one for Game 2. However, on Monday in Topeka, there will be a video broadcast as well as an audio-only broadcast. And then Tuesday we will have a video broadcast with the broadcast as we are having a presentation of some kind with Commissioner Bryant Spear. And all the guys are getting their picture taken.
For tonight, that's your 2024 Mid-Plains League Connor Taylor All-Star Game MVP.
And he's handing out the MVP, so I'm just going to let him talk.
For Baldwin City Blues, Brennan Johnson.
And Brennan Johnson with the All-Star Game MVP. As I was going to make this remark. When he before I had to leave.
Take care of business, fellas.
We're going to read Johnson's stat line. Not only batting, Johnson went 2 for 2 with a hit, an RBI, and a run, and struck out the side 1, 2, 3, and technically got the win.
And is the winning pitcher, yeah. That's
I believe,
an All-Star game for you.
And I believe that will be collegiate win number 3 for
this
Brennan.
Season, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think after the first one, he said that was his first collegiate win ever.
He hasn't thrown a lot at Baker, so at all.
Yeah, not really. I think I did my stats before the start of the year and some of my notes, but that'll do it for Well, I think it'll probably definitely be done for us as far as the talking. There's going to be some post-game fireworks, which, if anything, we will keep the stream on. However, we can't do the sound because there is tons of copyrighted music, and we will get taken down immediately. So, but we can allow you to at least enjoy that visual,
enjoy it.
I'm guessing that's coming soon. But thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all. I will see you all if you are a Baldwin City or Topeka fan for Game 1 if you're listening to the audio format, but I highly encourage if you can somehow sync them up to sync up the video and the audio on that. But if you can watch, if you can come out to the park, that, you know, obviously that's the best part, but if you can watch. If you can only listen, just listen. But we will see you next time. Playoffs start on Monday. Forgot to say bye. Okay, bye. Thank you for listening. Bye.